Imagine dialing 911 in the middle of the night. Your hands are shaking. Your voice is breaking. You report a crime that hasn't happened yet. And minutes later, the police listen back to the recording, only to realize something chilling. The voice on the emergency call belongs to the victim himself. Before he was attacked. Before he was found. Before anyone knew what was coming. Tonight, on True Tales USA. This is the story of the man who answered his own 911 call. This is one of the strangest recorded emergency calls in American history, a real case involving official dispatch logs, verified audio recordings, and a timeline investigators still struggle to explain. No rumors, no urban legends, just documented evidence, and a question that refuses to disappear. Our story begins in the early hours of a quiet weekday morning in Omaha, Nebraska. The neighborhood was calm, no reports of violence, no active emergencies. At approximately 1:18 a.m., a man named Robert Ellis, age 42, was home alone, a warehouse supervisor, divorced, known by coworkers as dependable, reserved, and routine-driven. Nothing about that night stood out until his phone connected to emergency services. At 1:21 a.m., a 911 dispatcher received a call. The caller sounded nervous but controlled. He gave his name. He gave his address. And then he said something strange. "I think something bad is going to happen," the dispatcher asked him to clarify. The caller paused, then said, quietly, "I don't feel safe. Someone is coming." "I don't know how I know." The dispatcher asked if anyone was in the house. The caller replied, "No, I'm alone." The call abruptly ended. Police were dispatched immediately. Officers arrived at the address 9 minutes later. The front door was unlocked. No signs of forced entry. Inside, they found Robert Ellis on the living room floor, unconscious, severely injured. He was rushed to the hospital. Robert never regained consciousness. He was pronounced dead later that morning, cause of death, blunt force trauma. As detectives reviewed the case, they returned to the 911 call. That's when something unsettling emerged. The voice on the recording matched Robert Ellis exactly. Same cadence, same speech patterns, same tone. There was no doubt. Robert had called 911 himself. But here's the problem. Medical experts concluded Robert was attacked before the call ended, which means he was already fatally injured while calmly speaking to the dispatcher, and no one else was detected in the home. Investigators faced a series of questions with no clear answers. How did Robert sense danger before any intruder was detected? How did he place a coherent emergency call while suffering injuries that should have rendered him incapable? Why was there no sign of entry, and no evidence of another person inside the house? No weapon was recovered. No suspect was ever charged. The case remains officially unsolved. To this day, Robert Ellis's 911 call remains archived. A calm voice, a warning, and a moment frozen in time. Whether it was instinct, coincidence, or something we don't yet understand, one thing is certain: Robert tried to tell someone what was coming, and no one could stop it. This is the story of the man who answered his own 911 call. Subscribe. Hit the bell for new real stories, and stay tuned for the next story from True Tales USA.